after going to Abbey Road on the River today in Jeffersonville. We got Sticker Kid. He went to Abbey Road on the River, and Sticker Granddaughter, she didn't go. And my son, the video director, he went too. And my buddy Bill from here in Louisville also went. What'd you do at the Abbey Road on the River? What was your favorite part?
The thing that goes round and round.
The park?
Uh-huh.
The thing that spins round and round and round? Huh. How's it going out there? Uncle Paul, if you watch this, I know you sent me a voicemail today. Your check is in the mail for that lot of Record Store Day Paul 7-inch records you have and Beach Boys 7-inch picture sleeves. Anybody watch that Beach Boys documentary on Apple Plus yet? I need to watch that tomorrow if I get a chance. I've seen a lot of Beach Boys documentaries, and I've seen the really good quality stuff. I don't know if this will match that or not. Apple Music Top 100. What do you guys all think about that? The Apple Music Service System put their top 100. It was mostly new groups. Things from the last 20 years. The only Beatles albums to make the top 100 was Abbey Road was number 3. That seems to resonate with the young crowd. And Revolver was number 21. Pet Sounds from the Beach Boys was number 20. Led Zeppelin 2 was the only Led Zeppelin in the top 100, number 27. And the only Rolling Stones album in the top 100 was Exile on Main Street, number 53. What do you think about that? All right.
Jack's Music Corner said hey.
Jack's Music Corner. You might be new to our stream. I don't remember Jack. So how you doing there, Jack? Thanks for checking in with us. This sold today, my Exile on Main Street. I could sell one of these every day of the week. I guess the young generation likes this album. This is a CAP pressing from 1972, which stands for Capitol. That means the master tapes were mixed by Mick Jagger for a few weeks in LA, so all the best audiophile pressings come from LA, either Monarch Records or Capitol. And they have to have Artesian logo in the dead wax on all 4 sides. This one has it's a Unipack cover, and it has all the all 12 postcards are inside here. What you need, Sticker Kid? You got a joke?
No, I'm not gonna tell it till the middle of the stream.
All right, let's see. We got a lot of promos from Mr. Joe Hilton. I've sold most of them already. This was a yellow light green label for All You Need Is Love. This sold for $244 today with the picture sleeve and the stock copy of it. But there's a lot of counterfeits of these promos. You have to make sure you get a light green yellow label with a star in the dead wax. They were all pressed in Los Angeles. I already sold the Strawberry Fields a couple days ago for $259, and that has the Penny Lane with the extra 3-second trumpet ending that I played on one of my YouTube shorts. Got a question? Other promos I got on that was promo for early 1964 Tolly Records, a white label promo of Love Me Do and P.S. I Love You. That's a tough promo to find. And have one for My Bonnie, which was early 1964. I think it was January. This actually got in the charts, if you can imagine that, in the United States with this green picture sleeve. This is the stock copy, MGM, and this is a white yellow promo. It says not for sale. Not wrote on, very good, plus condition. The Saints are on the back, and My Bonnie is on the front. I haven't sold that yet. And I got a promo for Sweet Georgia Brown, white label promo on Atco. On the back side, it's got take some insurance on me, baby. Take some insurance on me, baby. That's right. And that's why they did a white label promo back there, and they put an X. They wrote an X on the side that the DJs were supposed to play. That's in excellent condition, hardly been played. That's my promo lot I got in. Yep, that's my promo lot I got in. From Mr. Joe Hilton, so thanks a lot.
KRWD said hi, Frank, his sticker teen and granddaughter.
How you doing? Wave hi to Rich. Say hi to Rich.
Okay.
Got one other promo in today. A 1973 Led Zeppelin promo for Dire Maker. They're both mono cuts. They got a long version on one side and a short version on the other side. The short version is 3 minutes and 15 seconds. The long version is 4:19. From Houses of the Holy, 1973. It's in unplayed, near mint condition. Pretty sure I already got that up on my eBay store.
Pretty sure.
This has been a hectic week on eBay. I'm putting stuff up and selling stuff. Ever since I sold that First State butcher cover for $17,000, it started the rhythm going, and we've been sending out at least 10 packages every day of the week.
Did the comment real quick because it goes with what he was just talking about.
KRWD said short version must have been for radio.
Well, they were both for radio.
They were both for radio.
I guess they decided they were going to play the short version or the long version. So after I sold that First State for $17,000, I sold a West Coast butcher cover. It had a drill hole. I sold it for $15.55. And I got another West Coast in. These are the ones that are really tough to peel. And this is up for about the same price, $1,600. And my East Coast that I peeled myself, I sent offers today at $1,150. I've showed this many a time. I'll show it one more time. The different tints of the West Coast and the East Coast. That's a natural tint. And the East Coast has got a purple hue added to the colors. And don't forget, I think we're 10 short of 1,600. When I get to 400 more subscribers, we're going to give away this stereo East Coast with the purple banner on the top. Butcher cover with 3 tough trivia questions. Got to get all 3 of them right concerning the butcher cover. Any questions on the butcher covers before I put them away? I'll probably never have a First State butcher cover again in a condition like that last one I had. That had to be one of the best 50 in the world. Somebody asked me about my look posters today behind me. Will I be selling these? I'll probably keep this for the live stream a couple weeks, then I'll Put them up for sale for around $1,000. They're all in pretty excellent shape. John, George, Paul, Ringo.
Give your opinion on them. You always love them posters.
And the banner. What's your favorite of these posters back here? Who's your favorite one? You don't have a favorite? Nope.
Oh man, I wanted to make my sound.
Let's make it. Do it loud. Loud and proud. Alright. I don't know if that's a dolphin or what kind of sound that is. So go to my solds real quick and then I'll start showing some things. The Horzu Magical Mystery Tour I sold for $259 with the A1B3. Sold a Long and Winding Road picture sleeve in near mint condition for $170. Sold my set of Licorice records for $199. My 1966 Revolver Mono from the United States with the hype sticker for Yellow Submarine and Eleanor Rigby went out for $300. Sold a Lady Madonna picture sleeve for $144 that had the fan club insert. It was in better shape than this one. I have another near mint one coming in. Exile on Main Street I talked about. Sold my Ringo Starr signed Sweet 16 sheet music from 1992 with his whole name. Sold for $400. Going out Tuesday, I guess. The post office will be closed on Monday. Sold my signed Stones fan club card. It's signed by Charlie Watts on both sides. Not Charlie Watts, Brian Jones, because he was leader of the band there at the beginning. So he forged the other band members' names and he signed the front and the back. Show the back of Brian Jones. That's right. That's the way it is up that right side. That went out for $500. Or it's going out beginning of next week.
Man doesn't want to focus in. There we go.
What's the question?
I think you can take that band-aid off.
Can I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I better leave it on. I sold my 1978 White Album that was pressed in Holland. I don't think I've shown that. I showed this on Rachel Ghost. Thanks for Rachel Ghost interviewing me the other day. I think we got 500 views for that interview. That's pretty good for a Rachel's Ghost interview. I think that's my second most interview I've done out of the last 6. So this is the one made in Holland. The Polygram auction says the best audiophile pressing ever of the White Album. And it sold for $200. I'll be putting up all the other pressings from the BC13 box set made in Holland. You got the Please Please Me with a different cover as the 100th anniversary. Different, and the Help, I think, at the Hard Day's Nights, solid blue. That's what the Hard Day's Night looks like from Holland. And a few other signed things, or sold things. I sold the Beatles, the best pressing of, I think I brought it in here. The Beatles, going out next week for $179. And the Beatles. My Harry Nilsson. I don't see it right now, but we'll run across it. There it is. My Harry Nilsson signed Beatle Fest from '91. Going out to Art, my buddy in Chicago. Maybe we'll see Art when we go to Beatle Fest for Beatle fans in Chicago this August. that this is signed by Harry Nilsson with a COA from Roger Eberson. I showed this on the last stream. Sold for $168. Harry Nilsson wrote, Love Harry Nilsson 91. And it's also signed by Sam Leach. It was the first promoter of the Beatles before Brian Epstein and Alistair Taylor that worked for Apple Records that did the promo. The first promo for Apple Records saying, this man now owns a Bentley, and he's playing a bunch of instruments in the promo picture. All right, we're talking about Harry Nilsson. You see my Beatles record player back here. We're gonna tune it up, turn it on. Takes about 20 seconds to warm up. It's got 2 capacitors inside it.
Is it time for my joke?
Go ahead and tell your joke while it's warming up.
Tell your joke.
Why don't vegans like arguing?
Why don't vegans like arguing?
Because they hate beef.
Because they hate beef. All right, that's a good one. Like that. Anybody like that joke from Sticker Kid?
Nobody.
Nobody?
You did a good job.
All right. Can you move over there a little bit, Sticker Kid? I gotta see this record player.
Or email.
So magnetic tape recorder here in Louisville that does terrific work on restoring vintage stereo equipment. Had this for like 3 months. And I got it back and I sold it the next day for $6,000. This is about the 6th Beatles record player I've had. I'll probably never have another one in my lifetime, but it's going out. I gotta really pack it up good. It's going out next week. This is this came with a 8mm film of the Beatles arriving in America, a silent black and white film that you bought in 1964. And this was included in the package, this cardboard cover and record. The Beatles Arrive in America. But it's got this little rap song by Harry Nilsson when he was 23 years old. And he does it's called Stand Up and Holler. Here we go. Let's see if I can get it on just right. You gonna dance again? Do the hip shake?
That ain't my time.
Here comes the plane with the Beatles on it. Look at John, Paul, George, and Ringo.
This is worse.
One of them taken, but 3 are single.
One of them's singing.
2 bits
3
more
singing.
than 6 bits a dollar. All for you to stand up and holler. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh, buy your record and see your movie. Yeah, how can folk can be so groovy?
That's so good.
Long black edges in your face now. Ain't nobody gonna take your place now.
Get over here a little shake.
2 bits more than 6 bits a dollar. All for you to stand up and holler. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
There you go. Do it again.
When you sing that twist and shout now,
Sing it, twist and shout.
knock those little girls right on out now. When you shake your head like you do,
Shake your head like you do.
drill them little girls through and through now. 2 bits more than 6 bits a dollar. All for you to stand up and holler. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Beatles don't have to leave now. 'Cause if you do, we'll surely agree now. Well, stay right here where you belong. 'Cause we love you and your song. 2 bits more than 6 bits a dollar. All for you to stand up and holler.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Wilson doing a Beatles rap. Don't think I better play that Beatles record player anymore. It belongs to somebody else. Magnetic tape, that's the best job. That's the best sounding Beatles record player I've ever had. Any questions? Or close that up?
So do the DJ.
Okay. The DJ said, sounds like Bo Diddley.
He does. He kind of copied Bo Diddley's song.
And KRWD agreed.
I agree with it too. Got the Bo Diddley beat. You know what Bo Diddley is?
No.
I don't doubt if you do.
They put laughing emojis to Skylar.
You got any, do you know who Buddy Holly is?
No.
Chuck Berry?
No.
Elvis Presley?
No.
Oh,
Yeah, you do.
You know who Elvis
No.
is. Wait a minute, let me do a couple more sold listings. I can put this away. So that's my Beatles record player. It sold the first day I put it up there after I waited 3 months to get it restored. Magnetic tape put some new capacitors in there and got rid of the usual hum. They all have, they made about 5,000 of them. There's only a couple hundred of them left that are in this condition, but all the foam on the platter has disintegrated on all of them now after all these years. Got the adapter, it plays at all 4 speeds, 16, 33, 45, and 78. So thanks Philip from Magnetic Tape Recorder, you did a super job. Alright, a few more other sold listings and we'll go on to some more showcasing some things. The Beatles Volume 1 factory reel-to-reel I had from Ampex tapes with the Paul is Dead edits that Wolfie was asking about, I sold for $300. I sold a Led Zeppelin signed book by Jimmy Page called The Photographers from 1995, sold it for $222 the first hour I put it up. Sgt. Pepper 1969 UK export mono, sold for $159. This one right here. This was an export from the United Kingdom, and it has a printed in Germany on the back of the cover. But it's got a pressing, mono pressing from the UK with the sold in the UK across the middle. The other day, the wax showed what he thought was original rubber soled mono, but it didn't have the sold in the UK across the middle, so it couldn't have been from 66 through 68, or would have had that printing. There's another Magical Mystery Tour with A1B3 that I have up for sale on my STICKERMANIA 2853 store. And I sold almost all my Beatles fan club records that I showed in that short. I think this one of them just sold, I think this sold today, 1964. And I just sold a 67 with the insert, I think, for 155.
Do the KRWD real quick, because that one was something that he must have said and I missed it.
KRWD said, Frank, does Wax know that now?
I didn't tell Wax that. He showed it on, thought he showed it on Rachel's Ghost channel, but I usually don't get in the chat on Rachel's Ghost channel because that's pretty early for me. I don't drink my coffee and get going until about noon because I'm up late making deals with California people late at night. All my purchases histories, we'll go into that in a second. Just got this in today, this is pretty amazing. A 1962 second pressing of My Bonnie by Tony Sheridan and the Beat Brothers. And this is the original paper picture sleeve. You can see it's a real flimsy picture sleeve. And this is how you would have bought it in Brian Epstein's Liverpool record store when they were importing them by the thousands to Liverpool, because everybody in Liverpool, their fan, wanted to buy their first record. This is the second version that has twists below My Bonnie. And the one I have, the first version.
Other way.
First version I have way up there in the corner, and it's got the rock. That's the very first 61 pressing, and this is the second pressing here. The first record that had the Beatles as a backup group. Alright, let's put that away. That is really fragile. That is up for sale, I think, for $200.
DJ said, Wax said he bought a original UK revolver for $25. I wonder if it really is.
It was not original. It didn't have sold in the UK across the label. It could have been a 2014 mono, and he just doesn't understand Beatle pressings. Wax is not a Beatles expert.
KRWD said, I know he did on Rachel's channel.
That's where he showed him.
Huh?
He showed the revolver on Rachel Ghost's channel. So there's my back off Boogaloo picture sleeve that Rachel Ghost agrees with me that that's all about Paul McCartney. So I guess that little Frankenstein there is making fun of Paul when Ringo was really upset with Mr. McCartney. But he sure came around. They're Beatle buddies for the rest of their life now. Talking about the Beach Boys, I got this yesterday a couple days ago from Magnetic Tape Recorder, and this is Carl and the Passion So Tough, but it's a 2-record set, and it's got a mono pressing of Pet Sounds that is one of the best mono pressings ever from the early 70s. I played it the other day. It does sound amazing. I never was a fan of Pet Sounds, but it sure is growing on me. I can see why it's always in the top 100 charts of every survey they ever do. Pet Sounds is usually always in the top 20.
Right, read the last one first.
Okay. KRWD said, Frank, will you list that Pet Sounds for? What will you list that Pet Sounds?
That Pet Sounds, excellent condition. I will put it up Monday for $39.
And the other one.
And KRWD said Paul was a slave driver, to be sure.
Paul was a slave driver, but the Ringo knows that understands now that Abbey Road, the White Album, Let It Be would have never happened without Mr.
Like
Paul McCartney.
Talking about in the car, that's like Paul did everything, played the drums, like.
Yeah, when they were recording the White Album and Ringo got upset and left the band for a few days when they were recording back in the USR, Paul said, that's fine, I'll play the drums. If George had a hard time with the guitar solo in the middle, Paul said, that's fine, I'll play the lead guitar. Paul could do it all. Any other things that sold that we need to talk about? Then we'll talk about some other new arrivals and purchase history. Sold my Let It Bleed mono. I think Daniel Costello said it was a fold down, but I sold my UK mono for $244. Sold my German Sticky Fingers for $188. I thought I had a Sticky Fingers here. I could sell a nice condition Sticky Fingers every day of the week. That's why I don't understand why this isn't in the top 100 albums of all time. This even has, it's a first pressing with the printing on it, and that's the original hype sticker they took off the factory shrink and they affixed it to the back cover. Zipper's never been pulled down, never been opened up to show the Andy Warhol underwear photo underneath. Only problem when that zipper's all the way to the top, it causes a little smudge on the record where the zipper is, right there on Can't You Hear Me Knocking on side 1. There's a little smudge from the sticker being rubbed up against it. There's only one time in my life that I ever had a sealed Sticky Fingers from 71. It must have been on the bottom of the shipping box, and it didn't have any dents from a zipper being up against it, because there was 25 in a shipping box. So they would have all had dents except for the very bottom cover in the shipping box. And that's the original inner sleeve. I'm still working on getting that big poster that has the Rolling Stones naked from the waist down, and they all have the album cover covering up their private parts. There's a lady in town, she's 80 years old, and she's got that on her wall. It's in color. It's about 2 feet by 3 feet, but she says she's too emotionally attached to let me sell it for $900. And that's about what it's worth. Andy Warhol photo. Rolling Stones, I sold 2 of these this week. I could sell one of these sealed with a band cover. I could sell this every day of the week. Some Girls from 1978, with all the ladies that got upset, their estates. You got Lucille Ball, Marilyn Monroe, Raquel Welch, Farrah Fawcett. They all got upset. So they had to pull them off real quick.
What?
Leave it alone. This shit.
Everyone like, subscribe, and hit the notification link.
What are you going to say about like and subscribe? Do you want to do a little dance or a joke, or are you going to retire for the night?
Do it.
You're not retiring right now.
What do you want to do?
Retire.
You want to retire? You had enough tonight?
Uh-huh.
All right. That's good. You had a good stream. Thanks for helping out.
No, he did not.
Here, you can go around the back.
Let's be for
Do a
real.
little hip shake on the way up. No hip shake? There you go.
Y'all don't baby your kids.
Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, chill.
Sold my black Airflight vinyl case. Just sold a few hours ago for $399. It's a round black zip case that the girls had in 1964. And I had a bundle deal. Somebody was interested in getting the first 2 Beatle albums, Introducing and Meet the Beatles. I don't have any right here right now, but I had the Introducing the Beatles and the Shrink. And the Meet the Beatles and the Shrink, I made a $444 bundle deal, and they bought it right away. And I had a Beatles second album easel display that was pretty cool, that was never been folded out. I sold it for $188. I showed it on Rachel's Ghost interview, if any of you watched that. Those are my sold listings from the last week. I said that first date really triggered everything off. All right, we talked about the record player. We haven't talked about these reel-to-reels. Got some Capitol magazines from the 70s.
Hey, DJ or Daniel just asked something.
Okay. Daniel Castillo said, J. High P. Much did you sell the Velvet Underground 45?
The 45 Underground, or the Velvet Underground 45 sold for $100. It had a serious warp where you couldn't play the first 20 seconds, but it sold right away. That somebody wanted that first pressing, something about a mirror, look into the mirror, and then somebody else got upset that they didn't get a chance to buy it, but I gave them a heads up, but it sold in the first 5 minutes. All right, these, where I got the second album easel somebody has a bunch of Capitol Records promo stuff. This is a 1973 magazine that advertised the Beatles at the Hollywood Bowl. And it's got the little bumper stickers. Here's a large bumper sticker made in a foreign country for the Beatles and the Hollywood Bowl. And it has promotes the best of George Harrison. 2-page spread on the Beatles at Hollywood Bowl. And it even has a Clat 2-page advertising Clat 2 in 1973. And there's a Pat Martin from a radio station. He said that he claims that by reversing the tune California Jam, the words I Feel Strong can be detected, which he says relates to Paul McCartney. And Paul had said, I'm not ill anymore. I feel I'm doing fine. So the Clat 2 was definitely, had a lot of Beatles rumors when that first Clat 2 album came out. You got a 1977 magazine promoting, I think this was 77, the Hollywood Bowl, I had the year wrong. And 77 is Love Songs. But it has all the other Capitol artists, but that's pretty cool that the Love Songs is on the front and the back. That's where Paul used his muscle, and he had his picture bigger on the cover than normally on the, see how Paul is smaller here on the banner poster, but on this one, he changed it where he's larger.
Yeah.
So that's the pull of Paul McCartney right there. He made Ringo smaller, he made himself bigger. When he asked for something, it got done. Got one other one, Mr. McCartney, London Town from 1977, their album that was released. I got some other, another one of these Capital issue magazines coming that advertises Rubber Soul. Talking about Rubber Soul, here's a factory pre-recorded from the late 60s by Ampex tapes of Rubber Soul 7.5 inches per second. I sent an offer, I think, of $244 on this today. This will sell pretty quick. Best way to hear the way the USA put a different sequence on the Rubber Soul and made it more of a folk album. It's the best album they ever put together on their own was the Rubber Soul. They did pretty good on the Beatles' second album too. They made it a real rock album. But that album's only like 22 minutes long. But on this one, I Just Seen a Face. It's got a false start on the beginning. That's a great way to have the first track on Rubber Soul. And then I got the McCartney from 1970, factory reel-to-reel, 7.5 inches per second. And this was released 2 weeks before Let It Be. I just got this German copy of Let It Be from the late 70s in. I haven't listened to, but it should be an audiophile pressings because everything the Germans did in the late 70s, they did great care in making the best pressings ever. So this was going to be released, and Paul knew it was going to be released. I think this is when Ringo went to Paul's house saying, you need to hold back your McCartney release till after Let It Be. And Paul threw him out of the house and said, get out of here. And that's how Back Off Boogaloo was invented. So those are pretty cool reel-to-reel tapes. Any questions on the reel-to-reels? Talked about Butcher Curves, Beatle Fest promos. Got this in today. I'm trying to get all the help I'm trying to get all the 2012 remasters that are digital remasters, but if you get them pressed in Germany, they're audiophile pressings. This is the first one I have. It's sealed and it's a help. But it's tough because almost all the ones you see on the internet are the USA pressings. I'm trying to get a whole box of the German pressings of the 2012 remasters. You saw my Rolling Stones Let It Bleed, another album that I could sell every day of the week. It's got the original fan club card insert for the Rolling Stones in 1969.
Can I tell you 2 comments?
You got the Between the Buttons, a stereo pressing that has the hype sticker. It says the Rolling Stone, or Between the Buttons, the Rolling Stones, including Ruby Tuesday. Hype sticker that's affixed to the shrink. So once that shrink was taken off of that cover, that hype sticker was lost forever. Got another German pressing from late 70s of Revolver, which Andrew from Polygram Auction says is the best pressing ever of Revolver, the stereo, the original stereo mix. A little bit of bass has been added on the bottom end of Mr. Paul McCartney on this Revolver pressing. And the detail, the harmonies, the mid-range, it's all done fantastic on this German pressing of Revolver. And if you were listening earlier, this is in the top 25 Apple Music of all time. What was this rank? 21.
21. I remember that.
What was Abbey Road?
8.
Number 3. Pretty close. What was number 1 and number 2? Lauryn Hill was number 1. Who do you think was the number 2 on the Apple Top 100? Michael Jackson, Thriller.
Yeah, you can't even give me a second to think.
I'll do the thing real quick.
Daniel Castillo said Velvet Underground is sought out.
Yeah, that record, they wanted it just for the collectability, that label. Velvet, I Am a Mirror. I thought that was the name of the song. I got that from my buddy Kevin Records, and that's the same lady that had the Star Wars posters and the Rolling Stones poster, and we just been getting a little bit from her, but she's emotionally attached to her collection. But her brother wants her to sell her all the stuff, but we're having a hard time with her. I almost had somebody ready to buy that Star Wars Myler poster with the upside down W. I had a couple people, 4 people on the line for $5,000. I think I could have sold it for $5,000, but she told me I had to end the listing and give it back to her. All right, purchase history. I think I showed most of my new arrivals. I got this Capitol from 1969. It's hard to find. A paperback writer with a Capitol dome on the label. This was only made for like a 1-month period, pressed in 1969.
Novus Nick said, I'm late. Hey, hi Frank.
How you doing, Novus Nick? How's it going in your and wherever you're at?
Daniel Castillo said Velvet Underground is a raw record, none of the George Martin orchestra bullshit.
Yeah, somebody on Facebook Marketplace has the Velvet Underground and Nico album, but the banana had been peeled and then glued back onto the top cover, so that kept me buying from it. They wanted $1,500. One time I had the Velvet Underground mono, but it didn't have the torso on the back. That'd be a holy grail to find that with the banana still on there and the torso on the back cover. That would surely be worth. I think Mike from the In-Groove has a few, and Noble Records has some, but that's really a $2,000 to $3,000 album.
And
that would be something you'd want to get slabbed, I think.
And Daniel Castillo said, I got an unpeeled banana. It's a mono East Coast.
All right. Does it have the torso on the back?
It because I have the torso on the back. And then Novus Nick said, doing well, blessed.
Doing well, blessed. Way to go, Novus Nick. We had a little bit of rain earlier today before Abbey Road on the river, but it cleared up and it was a pretty hot, muggy, 80-degree day. Down there they had the Circle that opened for the Beatles in '66 with the original lead singer, but they didn't perform today. And also Jan and Dean, they had Dean Torrance has a new band that performed on Abbey Road on the River a few days ago. There's surely some videos of them on YouTube performing. We didn't stick around for the, was it the Fab Four?
Fab Four.
Yeah, they're the big group that they bring to Abbey Road on the River.
And Daniel Castillo said first state.
He's got the torso then. I think you got about a $3,000 album there. Would Daniel ever get that slabbed? I bet he would.
I don't think he likes slabs.
Some people are against the slabbing, but I'm beginning to understand. I think that first date that was bought in Mexico, I think that should be slabbed because it's not about playing that record. It's about preserving that cover for the next 100 years.
So why didn't you do it to yours? That was $17,000.
Because he got someone bought it before.
So somebody bought it before I had it slabbed.
Would you rather
I
slab?
might have my Led Zeppelin turquoise, Led Zeppelin 1, my turquoise cover. I might get it slabbed here in the next month.
Do the last Daniel comment real quick.
Don't do it.
Daniel Costello.
Daniel Castillo said, well, it's not mint. It's about VG++.
All right. Still got to be very valuable just because that cover with the banana unpeeled and the torso on the back. All right, so a few purchase histories. I got some barn burner items coming in the next 3 days. So next Wednesday evening on our live stream, it'll be like Rachel's Ghost said, a barn burner. I got one of the rare from Canada come togethers on the A side of an Apple record instead of something. They were supposed to all be destroyed, but a few of them snuck out the back door. And I got one coming with a white Canada, the Beatles on Apple sleeve, and I paid $379, but I had to get it quick because it didn't last on the internet very long. I got an Introducing the Beatles version 2 stereo in the red Sears baggie coming that I paid $600 for. Those are real tough to get too, because Introducing the Beatles, unless you had some kind of baggie protecting them, they always have a bunch of rubware. I got an All Things Must Pass box set, unplayed condition coming, and I paid $104 from 1970. I got 2 Abbey Road Misaligned 1969 UK Abbey Roads coming with the misaligned Apple. I got 2 of them coming in the next few days. And if you can believe this, I have a Beatles and Mono box set, still shipped, still packed in the shipping box from Germany, never been opened up. I got one of those coming from $1,700. I know one of my buyers wants that hardback book, but I probably, since it's never been opened up, I'll probably sell it that way, sealed in the shipping box. That's the only way on a 2014 Mono Beatles box set that you can be 100% sure that none of the records were played because they're in resealable plastic bags. I got a Swan, She Loves You with that blue and white label. I've had about 3 of them that I've sold for $300 in rough shape. Well, this one's near mint with the original mailer from Swan Records. One of the executives must have died, and they sold all of his items that he had, and I paid $700 for it. But that's one of the rarest pressings of She Loves You can get from early '64 on that blue and white label. I got a Stone Santanic Majestics Request from the United Kingdom coming with a 3D cover that I paid $90 for. And I got a sealed Led Zeppelin in Through the Outdoor from the United Kingdom from 1979 in the original paper bag coming that I paid $200 for. And I got the Look magazine that advertised these posters, the newsstand issue. That's the most valuable newsstand issue you can get of any Beatles on the cover with the John Lennon psychedelic over there on the left on the cover. I got that coming, I paid only $80 for it. It usually sells for a lot more than that. That's what's coming in the next few days. Did I show everything?
You never do.
I never do, I know. I got we're gonna show this record label so maybe Wax can learn something about original 60s pressings from England.
Who is Wax?
He's a regular on Rachel's Go. So to get original pressing from the United Kingdom, it has to have this printing in the middle of the label to mean it from 64 to 68, all UK pressings had this sold in UK subject to resale price conditions, see price list. If that's not on there, it's not a original United Kingdom pressing from the 60s. This is a mono, but it's version 2. It doesn't have the unreleased Tomorrow Never Knows on it. This is the second one, but it does have the mistake where it says Dr. Robert on the label. Instead of DR, it's got Doctor all spelled out. That's original patent inner sleeve from England. So maybe Wax will see this and learn something about UK pressings.
My dad's being mean.
I can't believe you still got that for this.
Yeah.
Good job.
Somebody said on one of my videos, I think it was on Rachel's Ghost interview, they said, this Mr. STICKERMANIA knows a lot about prices and authenticating. Does he have a license to authenticate stuff? And I said, no, I don't have a license, but I probably could apply for one. I'll have to ask Mr. Perry Cox about that one. I'm sure he's got a license where he authenticates and COAs on all the Beatles memorabilia.
If you get one, I'll give you $10,000.
All right.
Okay. I'll wait.
Talking about Beatles and mono. This is an open one from Beatles Mono Masters. The best way to hear
I hate
the Beatles tracks analog and pure mono. They're singles from Love Me Do all the way to You Know My Name, Look Up the Number. They had a warehouse find of these a while back, and Mike from the In-Groove stocked up on them. I think he sold 100 of these. The Beatles Mono Masters from 2014. Any other questions before we wrap this up? Pet Sounds, Led Zeppelin 2. What was that on the charts? That was number 27 of the top 100 on the Apple Music charts. The only Led Zeppelin album in the top 100. But I can understand, one of the most powerful rock albums ever recorded if you have the Robert Ludwig Hot Mix.
Gordon Teddies said, "Take Jude by Apologetics, a great Beatles parody on YouTube."
What is?
Take Jude by Apologetics.
That's another channel?
I guess it's a parody.
Parody?
Beatles parody.
Oh.
You know what that is? It's where they make like goofy videos of the music.
Is it AI?
It's called.
Huh?
Is it AI?
No,
Artificial
it's
intelligence?
parody. Like
Parody.
people dress up as the
I mean,
Beatles and
some
make them
people
look
could do
goofy.
AI with it.
I've seen, there's two people there's one guy that dresses up as John and Paul, and he wears wigs and stuff, and he does a parody of the Beatles.
Well, then that's.
So the Led Zeppelin 2, I have the PR pressing here with the RL and the small dead wax on side 2. RL, SS, Robert Ludwig Sterling Sound. This is the Presswell pressing. And I have the Monarch pressing. I sold a Monarch pressing in very good plus condition. I sold for $900. But if you had found one of these that was unplayed, it'd be worth $2,000 to $3,000. Monarch MO on the bottom of the label. Small dead wax on side 2 because there's a lot of bass grooves from John Paul Jones there that fills out all the tracks. And when they recut it, it has a wide dead wax. The rumor going now is when they recut the Led Zeppelin 2 with the soft mix, they used the original master for the cassette tape, and that's why they're so inferior. The pressing after the RL doesn't sound anything like the first hot mix. Alright, I think we covered about everything. Hope you enjoyed it, and check us out, same bat time, same bat channel next Wednesday night, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll show all these new arrivals. Thanks a lot from Louisville, Kentucky. Thanks a lot, Sticker Granddaughter. Remember, like and subscribe.
Hit the notification link.